Should I sing it for you? This is from the new album to be released once it's finished. Hopefully within this day of Brahma, it will be done. Feeling lower than a blade of grass, more tolerant than a tree, offering all respects unto others, wanting no respect for me. And I can chant, chant, chant your holy name. I can chant, chant, chant your holy name. I can chant, chant, chant your holy name. Constantly, constantly, constantly. Feeling lower than a blade of grass, everyone. More tolerant than a tree, offering all respects unto others, wanting no respect for me. What can I do? I can chant, chant, chant your holy name. I can chant, chant, chant your holy name. I can chant, chant, chant your holy name. Now what we can chant constantly, 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 constantly. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Amarina Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare more tolerant than a tree, offering all respect unto others, wanting no respect for me. Hare Krishna. That's much better than that. Let me actually do it, and I actually have a voice, but something's better than nothing, and you kind of get the feel of this amazing verse in which Mahaprabhu makes a correlation between being humble and being able to chant all the time, which is interesting, isn't it? And being tolerant. Sometimes we have to tolerate bad japa. Tolerate our minds wandering. But so one aspect of humility that I want to focus on, I think we focused yesterday on practicing humility in life, but what I wanted to focus on in regards to chanting is something that Bhaktisiddhanta discusses, how we understand humility in relation to chanting. So he explained that a devotee thinks that achieving prema, love of Krishna, is impossible, at least for me. There's no way I can do it. And I'm trying to do it. And if you ever tried to do something that is impossible for you to do, but you're trying anyway, and there's somebody around that knows how to do it, that can help you, what do? You go up to them and say, I don't know how to do this, I need your help. You do that in the office sometimes, right? I don't understand this problem, can you help me? So he said, humility means when we're approaching Krishna through the holy name, we're chanting in this mood of Krishna, I can't do this, I'm helpless, I need your help. So, I mean, it is a fact, we all know that, we feel this way, but when we bring that feeling into chanting, it's directed towards achieving love of Krishna, and we're chanting. Why am I chanting? I'll never have love for Krishna. It seems so far away, doesn't it? Yes? So far away. Should I write a song? Love for you is so far away, beyond what I can see, beyond what I can reach from here. I need your help, please. Something like that. So if we're going to enter this mood, then we have to feel it. Yeah, I don't think it's difficult to feel, is it? That I'm far from Krishna. Love is far. I don't even know what love is. There's once some school kids were asked to send, I guess it was maybe in a church school, they're asked to send messages to God. And one kid, like 8 years old, writes a message. He says, "Dear God, I don't know how you do it. You love everybody. And half the time I can't even love my sister. She drives me crazy. So just to love on this plane is hard enough. What to speak of love Krishna, that's pure, selfless. You can do whatever you want. I have no thought of myself." So we're all crazy because we set out on a mission to achieve this love, which is impossible. So if you give up now, I don't blame you. Just go home, take it easy, turn on Netflix, some chocolate, relax. But since we're all crazy, we have to get this love, even though we can't have it. You know that feeling? You get something, and you're like, I'll never get it, but I can't live without trying. So that's what we're doing. So that's the feeling. That's the feeling, as he describes humility, that humility you bring into japa is this feeling of helplessness. Prabhupada I had once written a letter to Prabhupada, and asking how to think of Krishna 24 hours a day. And one of the things he said is, you should feel helpless. And from the material point of view, feeling helpless is like, it's almost like you have low self-esteem. You go to a psychologist and they say, your problem is you don't feel helpless. And, you're coming there to get self-confidence. And you say, no, you should feel helpless. But that's what humility means. Not that you act like there's something wrong and you're helpless, but you act through the help that Krishna gives. So that's how you get empowered, because you think, I can't do it myself, so help me. So Krishna helps you. So Prabhupada said, if you think you're not qualified to do your service, you'll be Krishna conscious all the time, because that's humility, and humility means I always depend on Krishna. So I can't. So it's actually a good quality, but it's not disempowering, it's empowering. It seems disempowering, right? I'm helpless. Okay, how can you do anything? You're always helpless. That's how you become empowered. So we can do a little japa in this mood. And maybe before we start, we can meditate on our helplessness and how much we depend on Krishna, especially to achieve love for Krishna. And that is our goal, isn't it? Yes? Did you forget? Anyone forget? That's the goal, to love Krishna. And how far away that is, how difficult it is, and how pure one has to be to get it. And how much we need Krishna's help, and how willing Krishna is to help, if you really want it. So when you pray to Krishna for help in a helpless mood, he knows if you actually want it or not. And so if you ever feel like Krishna's not reciprocating, well, maybe you don't really want it. Or maybe you're not qualified yet, and he knows that. So he's like, become more desirous or become more qualified. So the more helpless we feel, the more Krishna is willing to reciprocate. Yes? Draupadi, helpless, can't do it. Gives up, puts her hands up. Then Krishna comes, not before that. Where's Krishna? Why isn't he helping Draupadi? Well, because she has two hands on her sari, one hand. Or whatever they were doing. There's some controversy on her hair, whatever they were doing to her. And she puts both hands up, and then Krishna comes. So we want to chant with both hands up, Krishna. I'm a mercy case. I'm all your mercy. You've given me the holy name, and without your help, it's like I'll be here forever. So can we do it? And that's how we apply humility, according to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, in relation to japa. So again, make sure you're feeling, you're entering this mood of helplessness, which of course is not difficult. Before you start chanting, then our chanting is to beg Krishna to help us. Vaisheshika, when he distributes books, Vaisheshika Prabhu, he always gives out mantra cards. Whether they take a book or not, he said, can you chant this? And when they ask, what does it mean? He says, it means I need help. Then he asks him, do you need help? Everybody says yes. Most people. I mean, I'm sure a few people say, no, I've got it together. But the average person will say, yeah, I need help.
Can I ask a question? So how does this reconcile with the statement Prabhupada makes, God helps those who help themselves?
Yeah.
So how does this fit into
it? It fits in perfectly, because you're trying to help yourself. And you're saying, Krishna, I'm doing everything I can and it's not enough. So I need you to fill the gap. That's all it is. It's just asking Krishna to fill the gap. Krishna, I started here. I'm here. By the end of this life, I might be here, but you're here. So, this is as far as I'm going to get on my own. I need you to take me the rest of the way. So that's the realization. That gap is where Krishna, you do your best to get to the top of where you can go according to your efforts, and ask Krishna to take you the rest of the way where you can't go, where your efforts fail you. And so Bhakti Siddhanta is saying our efforts fail in achieving love of Krishna. And even philosophically speaking, nobody can achieve love of Krishna because Krishna has to give love. You can work your way to bhava, but you can't work your way to prema. That Krishna has to give that. So every stage you can work your way to. Of course, there's mercy there, but you can kind of pull yourself up. But to prema, Krishna, please help me. I can't get there. Even if you got to bhava, you need his mercy to get to prema.
Sometimes we say, Maya is not strong, your determination is not weak, or something.
Yeah.
So how does this determination and helplessness, because I can be insincere and I can say I'm helpless.
But Krishna knows you're insincere, so it's not going to work. Then praying for help is an effort. Right? That's your effort to try and pray for help. In realization that you can only go so far. And not just for love, but anything you need help with. Krishna, I'm dependent on you to conquer my mind and senses. For everything, I'm depending on you. But it's not that I'm not going to try. So praying for Krishna's help and not trying is useless. Why would Krishna help you? Prabhu, can you help me push this car? You go, sure. And then I leave, and I leave it to you to push. And you're like, I'm not going to push this car. I can't do this alone. So, Krishna, can you help me? And he says, yeah. And then you go to sleep. And Krishna says, I'm not going to do it without you. Krishna is giving mercy 10 times more than we're giving effort, right? So it's a good investment. 10% is good. I mean, you got something better than 10, let us all know. But 10 is good, 10 times. Right? No, it's not 10, it's 10 times. You put in $10, you get 100. Put 100, you get 1,000. Yeah, that's a good investment. Put in 100, get 1,000. Wow.
I heard an analogy from Prabhupada. How much effort we should put? He said 99%. And Krishna put 1. That 1% is equivalent to 9%.
You put all. I mean, how much effort should we put? All of it, but not thinking that all of it's enough, and knowing all of it's insufficient, and therefore, Krishna, I'll do my best, but it's insufficient, and I need your help. And anything I want to achieve in Krishna consciousness, Krishna, I need your help. I'm not doing it on my own. It's not my own power. Even if you're trying your best, you know that ultimately it's Krishna who's doing it. And so with that's realization is humility. And as soon as you think you're doing it, it's pride. So humility is all about who's doing it. Ahankar means I'm doing it. And humility means Krishna's doing it through me. So basically chanting without ahankar, without false ego. That I on my own, I'm not going to achieve love of God. Krishna has to help me. And that's chanting with humility. And chanting with false egos, I can do it. I'm going to chant good japa. I'm going to get love of Krishna within 3 weeks. I can do it. I'm going to force my way up. I'm going to knock the walls of Vaikuntha down and just break my way in. But you can't do that.
Like they say, pray as if everything depends on Krishna.
Yeah.
Do as if everything.
Yeah, it's perfect. St. Augustine or someone said that. Yeah. Jasoda, the example of Jasoda, tying Krishna, effort and mercy. Why isn't Krishna giving me mercy? Well, why aren't you making an effort? I mean, Krishna is giving mercy. Obviously, we're here. But you want more mercy, you have to make more effort. And the mercy is not proportionate to the effort. It's much greater. So it's a bit of a, it seems on an external surface, it seems a paradox that you have to work for mercy. I thought mercy was a gift. But you're doing very little. You're investing $1 and you're getting 10 back. That's, at least, like, oh God, please help me make money in the stock market. And then the voice comes out, start investing something before you ask. It's like the idea, if God would just show himself to me, I would believe in him. Well, if you believe in him, he'll show himself. You have to, you have to do something on your side. Well, I'm just going to sit in my house, and if he comes, then I'll believe. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. If Krishna wants, I'll stay away. I was going to do a cartoon series called Bhakta Burfi. So there'd be cartoons like that. Just complete misunderstanding of the philosophy. Totally backwards. Okay? Good? Good. Okay? Hare Krishna. When you're chanting, try to chant in a way that you can convince Krishna. If you chant like this, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna, please help me. I depend on you. Please help me. Krishna's looking at you like, sorry. You need to do a little better than that. So when you're chanting, just kind of feel the energy in the mood. What mood are you sending out? Are you sending out a mood that I need your help? Or are you just sending out nothing? Please help me, please help me, please. I need your help, I need your help. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. You see the difference. Kind of like you're proposing to your wife or something. Please marry me, please. I'll do anything. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. You know, but it relates to this, what we're doing. It perfectly relates to it. So Prabhupada was sitting with devotees and he asked them, what's the difference between me and you? And they were saying things like, well, you're a pure devotee and we're not, and you're this and we're not. And Prabhupada was saying, no. Said, the difference between me and you is that you could fall down and I can't fall down. How many of you know this story? Such a beautiful story. So the following day, when they were greeting the deities in the temple, Prabhupada was praying to the deities. And Shrutakirti couldn't hear what Prabhupada was praying for. So later in the day, he said, Prabhupada, this morning I saw you praying for the deities. What were you praying for? And he said, I was praying to the deities that I wouldn't fall down. He said, but Prabhupada, you said last night that the difference between you and us is that you can't fall down. And Prabhupada said, yes, because I pray to the deities that I can't fall down. That's why. So basically this chanting is like that, but it's this feeling like I could always fall down at any time. I'm weak. I need help. And so, you know, it's a disaster if I'm just chanting to get my rounds done and I'm not in this mood of begging and praying. It's just like, it's such a, what's the word I'm looking for? Kanapati, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like a travesty. Disaster. Yeah. I'm looking for a word that's even more disastrous than disaster. Catastrophic. Yeah. It's catastrophic. It's like you're missing the whole thing.
It's
tragic. Tragic. Yeah. Catastrophically tragic. Yeah. It's tragic, isn't it? So every day we're going to Krishna through the holy name and we're praying for help. And we did a general, help me develop love. But it can be specific. I need help with this. Please help me. Whatever's in the way between me and you, we know what's in the way, so we can pray to Krishna. That thing, this thing right here. Can you just put it over there or blow it up, dissolve it, burn it, something like that. So, and it's like Krishna wants us to do that. It's almost like these obstacles are here just so we can connect with him through prayer to overcome them. Like the more difficult he makes it, like the more closer we can get to him, the more intensely we pray. So, does anyone want to share what was going on for them during this Japa session? Yes?
So I was thinking, that being helpless, I could not figure out how I'm talking to myself, that, okay, helpless, and, okay, who am I, what am I capable of? I have to depend on Krishna, but then it's like, like blaming myself that, okay, I can't do this, I cannot do that, and
well, you definitely can't achieve love of Krishna. That's the main thing. So you don't have to blame yourself. It's just a fact. It's a reality. And definitely not in the mood of the residents of Braja, which Mahaprabhu wants us. He wants us to achieve that. So definitely that's not something we can get. That kind of prema. So, and any obstacle, any persistent obstacle or problem you have, obviously you're having trouble overcoming it. So you need help, right? I mean, just being married, like there's so many things in married life that we weren't prepared for. Do you ever feel like that? Like, do you ever feel like this is harder than I thought? And you realize I don't really understand the way women think, or I don't understand how men think, or and Krishna, can you give me some intelligence to deal with this? Even Krishna can, this chanting japa is difficult. Can you help me with that? So just go down the list and you'll see how much help you need. Right?
Yeah, but
what about lust, anger, greed, envy, jealousy, all that? You need help with that? We all do, yeah. So all these things are getting in the way. We need help overcoming them. And if we didn't need help overcoming them, we would have overcome them. And the fact that we haven't overcome them is proof that we need help. Or you could think, well, it's just a matter of time, I'll overcome it. Yeah, but I should have overcome it already. Or I should be further along. Do you ever feel like that? Like you get, after a certain number of years of being a devotee, you start to worry, is this actually going to work? If you're just a new devotee, you can be optimistic. Well, I got my whole life. But what about the end of your life? And you're still lust, anger, greed, envy, and all these things. And you realize how much help you need, how hard this is. If you set a higher goal for yourself in Krishna consciousness, then you'll realize you need help, right? I was put in charge of a temple 8 months after I joined. And 2 months after I turned 20 years old. Had some good japa then. What do you think? It's kind of like there's a war, and I don't know how to fly an airplane, and it's like they put you in and just go, this is the start button, and this is the stop button, here's the steering wheel. It's like, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So, but we're always in that position. We just have to realize it. So if you want to realize it quickly, just try to do something a little greater than your pay level, and you'll be like, okay, Krishna, how do I do this? You want to hear something funny? I cooked. In the old days, the temples were small. We had lots of deities. So if you lived in a temple and you were brahmanically initiated, you would cook. So I asked one devotee, how did you learn to cook? He said, well, this is how I was trained. They said, go in the kitchen, pay dandavats, get up and say, Krishna, help. He said, that's how I learned to cook. So that was very much, that pervaded the movement very much in those days. So it was kind of a way of being for us. It was pretty normal to be, Krishna, help. So, and many devotees have realized that it's good to try to do something that's difficult, because then your japa gets better automatically.
It's also the other way around, right? So that if we try to endeavor for something more, and then we also take that as an excuse that, okay, now I'm doing so many services, now okay, well, it's fine, I'll do minimum 16 in whatever it is, but I'm doing some service more than what I did.
Well, yeah, you could always make an excuse. You're saying you would make that excuse so your japa wouldn't have to be good because your service is good? Is that what you're saying?
No, like we take more and more services, and then it's okay if I miss a few rounds, but I'm doing so many services.
Yeah. That's a perennial problem. I spent a half an hour extra in the gym today, so I don't have to take my vitamins. It's something like that. I drank 2 liters of water today. I don't need to go to the gym. Yeah. If you're looking for excuses, Krishna will give you all kinds of doozies. Some really good ones, if that's what you want. Right? Okay. Who else would like to share? Yes.
So when I was chanting, I was trying to ask for help from my spiritual master. So because I feel more connected to him. So when I was chanting, I felt that I was understanding the mantra better, or I was able to get the emotions more when I was thinking of him.
Mm-hmm.
Would you think that a good thing?
As long as you're chanting to Krishna. Yeah.
I was asking him to make me more connected.
Yeah, that's good. That's fine. Yes.
Thinking of the helplessness, I'm remembering an example of His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj when he was the president of Juhu temple. Many people come to him like solving the problems, fights, and everything. Maharaj was very helpless and he didn't talk to them and he didn't say anything to them. Asked them to wait for some days. By the time Maharaj depends on the chanting, praying to Krishna. After a few days, like everything gets solved on their own. So,
Sometimes.
sometimes.
Some good chanting, right? But you can pray to Krishna, for guidance, insight, intelligence, ability, and so forth. So it can come that way, for sure. But you have to want it, because it's not going to come if you don't want it. Krishna reciprocates. So what does Krishna reciprocate with? He reciprocates with what you give him. And if you give him no desire to fix a problem, you get no solution. And that's reciprocation. That's his reciprocation. Because you didn't want it, so that's how he reciprocates. Right? Anyone else?
I was thinking, like, what is my biggest problem? Why I cannot come more closer to Krishna is my comfort zone. I get into a comfort zone. I have this time for chanting, this time for doing office work, this time for kids, this time for that. That comfort zone, I do not want to rock the boat even here and there, like paddle it around. That's what is causing me to, that's stopping my acting as an impediment.
An impediment in general, or an impediment to feeling more helpless, or both?
Feeling more helpless because I'm very comfortable.
Yeah. But it's not true. You're not comfortable. Because you're in a body that's getting old, in a world that is temporary, and you're dealing with material energy, and it's kind of like the same answer I gave Alankar. You have to see how you're helpless. To think that I'm not, I understand what you mean by saying I'm comfortable, but expand your vision that there is no ultimate security here. And what about this question? Do you think you have enough time left in your life to be Krishna conscious, or could you use more? Yeah. So we all feel that way. So that's not a comfortable position, is it?
Mind is tricking me to believe. Mind is tricking me to believe that I'll live forever. I am always comfortable. This situation should not change here and there. That's all the games. I'm trying to believe that.
That's okay, but it's like you have a comfortable jail cell, but you're still in prison. It's like my cell is great. Yeah, we'll walk outside the cell and look what's going on here. So, but the thing is, if I sincerely want to develop love of Krishna in this life, then how could I be comfortable? Because I would feel like I need all the help I can get now, and I have so many things and so many obstacles in the way. So I am helpless. If you have a problem, and you've had that problem for years, decades, lifetimes, that should make you feel helpless in overcoming that problem. There's definitely, I can't do this on my own. In the 12-step program, that's how it starts. This problem is bigger than me. It's more powerful than me. So I need a power that's more powerful than me to help. So, you know, and we're all addicted. Someone's addicted to potato chips, someone's addicted to pizza, someone's addicted to ice cream, addicted to our phones, watching movies. Some people are addicted to talking too much. You know, we all have addictions. So we all need help in overcoming. That's just being aware of what we need help with.
How do I stay in the consciousness? Of course, when I read, I know this is all wrong, but I go into my comfort zone. How do I stay in the process of not going into the
Do you think it's a kind of ignorance to avoid reality? To avoid acknowledging that, you know, it's like I built my house on an earthquake zone, and last night I went to sleep with all the sirens going on. I was like, oh, what the? Who cares, you know? If the roof blows off, it'll be something I've never seen before. It'll be exciting. And if I fall to the bottom of the floor, as long as I fall on the bed, I should be okay. So, yeah.
So,
The rug's being pulled out from under us. Yes.
just to explain this, like there was a time I was more very atheistic, like way back I was reading some philosophy which made me. When I realized we are not this body, we are the soul, it made me more comfortable. We're having a lot of anxieties in that.
Yeah. It sounds like you're using the philosophy to avoid reality. Is it? Avoid. I don't want to think there's birth, old age, disease, and death. I just want to think I have a schedule.
I've seen personally seen a lot of deaths around. I've been to I've been to a mortuary where multiple people are dying. All of a sudden I've faced that. I've been to that kind of stage.
Yeah.
But again it goes back to the comfort zone. I don't want
To avoid it. To avoid having to deal with it. You have to understand why you're trying to avoid it. What you're trying to avoid and why. Something's in there. I'm not quite understanding it yet. But it sounds like you're trying to protect yourself from any turbulence. Security is one of the human needs. We need security. Understandably, but we want to realize our helplessness in the face of material nature. And we want to be able to bring that into our prayers. And you see, prayer stems from helplessness. That's where it comes from. Because you're asking for help. Or you're asking for something that you can't get on your own. That's where it comes from. So how can we chant properly unless we feel that helplessness? Because then there's no prayer. Then it's very comfortable. This time I chant, everything's good. Well, what happened while you were chanting? All right, we have a new one. Ganapati. Was your japa tragic today? Did you chant tragic japa?
Sometimes it happens. Sometimes japa is very good, very strong. I don't want to leave that state. I want to stay in that state. That's where I realized moving out of that is very troublesome.
Yeah, but that can help you in your helplessness. Just what you exactly said, that this is, I want to stay protected, but I have to go out in this world, the harsh world and the harsh realities. And I don't want to deal with it. Krishna, help me deal with it. Please help me face it and deal with it. It sounds like you're saying facing it is painful, and you can't really deal with that pain. But then ask Krishna to help you deal with the pain. Thank you. Yes? Reality. Ravindra Sri Prabhu said we have a quarrel with reality. So you're expressing a quarrel with reality. Reality, why do you have to be like this? Why can't you be the way I want you to be? We have a fundamental quarrel with reality. We don't like reality. Why would we? We're going to die. Who likes that? So you have a fundamental quarrel with reality, and the way you resolve it is by pretending the reality. You make up your own reality and pretend that's reality. And then when you have to go out in that reality, then you're like, oh, I can't deal with this. Yeah. So pray to Krishna to help you with that. Thank you. Anybody else?
We were discussing in the morning, like how would we be chanting at the time of death when we are really helpless, when nothing can save us, doctors or family members, and we will be calling out to Krishna, please help me with so much pain happening in our body or so much suffering. So that's a helpless state, and Prabhupada says we should chant as if death is at our doorstep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. Death meditations. I think I was going to write a book called Death Meditations. Like, these are all the things that a dying person would meditate on. Yeah. And that's one of them that many devotees meditate on when they're chanting. Well, is this chanting good enough for dying? If not, turn it up a notch. Get it to the point where, yeah, I would be good right now if I died. That would be perfect. Yeah. And if you want to chant good rounds at the time of death, guess what? Chant good rounds now. Practice makes perfect. You'll be ready for it. I think some of us might think, well, my rounds are really bad now, but I know when I die it's going to be so intense, they'll be good. But, I hope you're right, but you may not be. It makes more sense that it would be good if they're good now, if you practice.
Like one time Raghunath Maharaj was in an airplane and there was so much turbulence and everybody was praying to God and he was also chanting the holy name. And now it's the time of death. Now let me chant.
Yeah. Okay, good. So I'd like to go to the next one. It's verse 4. You want to hear the song for verse 4? Nadanam najanam nisandre vitamba jagadish kamani. You know that? I don't want nadanam. I don't want money for myself. I want money to build a temple. I don't want money for my sense gratification. I don't want money. I don't want fame. Nadanam najanam. Fame. Nasundarin, beautiful women. Kavitamba jagadisha kamaya, not trying to benefit materially. Janmani ishare. Oh my dear Lord, birth after birth, all I want is ahai bhakti. Janmani ishare. Bhavatad bhakti ahai tukhi jai. Causeless devotional service, pure, not motivated by any material desire. So that's kind of what the holy name means. So I don't want money. I don't want money. I don't want money. I don't want fame. I don't want women. Don't want anything. Birth after birth. All I want to see is just pure devotion to your lotus feet. Your feet, that's your lotus feet. I don't want money, I don't want fame, I don't want women, don't want anything. After all I want to see, just pure devotion that you notice me. But after all I want to see is just your devotion, that you want to see. Your devotion, that you want to see. Your devotion, that you want to see. And I don't want it. Don't want anything. All I want to see is your devotion, that you want to see. All I want to see is your devotion, that you want to see. Your feet, that you want to see. Your feet, your devotion, that you want to see. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna your devotion, that you love is your feet, everyone. Your devotion, that you love is your feet, your devotion, that you love is your devotion, that your Lord is Sisi Shastakam, verse 4. So, this verse teaches us that when we chant Hare Krishna, we are praying for pure bhakti. And someone might say, how can I pray for pure bhakti? I still have material desire. How can I pray for pure bhakti? I don't even want it. And then we pray to want it. If I don't have it, I pray to want it. Because the goal of Krishna consciousness is pure bhakti. The goal is not to chant and ask Krishna for something. That's how we're conditioned. Ask God for something. We're trying to learn about love, and love means, what can I do for you? And I want you to be happy. I want you to be first. So we're praying for that. Now, the interesting thing is that's already within us, so we're just praying to clear out what's covering that. We're not praying to become that, because we already are that. So that's important to know. It's like, well, how could I ever become Krishna conscious? It seems so difficult. Well, you don't become, you are. You uncover, you revive, you awaken, however you want to look at it. But it's already there. And to define pure bhakti means that I'm serving Krishna only with a motive to please him. That's the definition of pure bhakti. So that's what I'm trying to develop when I chant. I'm not trying to get anything material. I'm not sitting there praying to Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Better job, better house, better car, better wife. I didn't say a wife, a better one. Yeah. Or not even a wife. Of course, wouldn't it be good if I had a wife? Yeah, maybe it'd be good. Wouldn't it be good if I had a better job? Maybe. But we depend on Krishna for our material needs, and we want to please Him and satisfy Him. So our consciousness, our meditation is not on what we want from Krishna, because then we're not actually meditating on Krishna. We're meditating on things Krishna can give us. It's much different. Right? So this prayer personifies what the mood of japa is, or it also personifies the goal of japa. The goal is to not want wealth, fame, and money. Only wealth, fame, and the opposite sex, and whatever, it's all for service. But otherwise, no. So this is important. So we just want to get this clear, that this is what japa is about. This is the goal of japa, to become pure, to become a lover of Krishna. And this is what we're praying for. And as I said, if you don't feel ready to pray for it, pray that you can develop the desire for it. So we're going to chant another round like this, praying for pure bhakti. And of course, it's very similar to what we just did. I'm helpless and getting pure bhakti. Krishna, I need your help. This is what I want. Please help me. This is what I'm here. This is what I signed up for. This is why I'm chanting. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I need. And this is what the Maha Mantra means. Can we do it? Yes, no, maybe?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, 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 Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram. So, Prema Sindhu, I forgot to let you, you had your hand up. Remember what you wanted to say?
So this time I was thinking about, I have so many other classes in my heart, all this Kanak Kamini Pratishta, all these desires I have. So without your help I cannot, but I'm doing this japa for your happiness because you like it, so I'm doing it. So now you can free me from this anarthas that I have in my heart. But I want to serve for your happiness. So that's what I was thinking.
Nice. I like that. And if you help me with my anarthas, then I can serve you purely. Yeah, that's beautiful because it's not like we want to get rid of all these contaminations so we can enjoy better. We can be better enjoyers of this world. We want it so we can serve Krishna better. So it's perfect. Would anyone like to share? Yes?
I was thinking, all these lifetimes I've been asking. Now also I'm asking. But I want to ask you, I don't know what is good for me. And you decide.
Mm-hmm.
And also when you decide, when you give me an understanding so that I can understand that is good for me. It's a pain and pleasure, comfort and discomfort.
Yeah.
Because sometimes mercy comes not in mind or inside or in different ways. So I have to have an appetite, understanding, to understand that.
Yeah. That's perfect. In other words, I'm willing to take whatever you give me, and please make it clear what it is you want. If you have that mentality, certainly he'll make it clear, because the reason it's not clear is because we don't want to hear what he has to say.
That's a part one. The part two is that, and even if you do, if I give up, I run away, you should not be surprised. That's what I did anyway. But this time I don't want to miss the boat.
Yeah.
And then I want to, if I do that, then that's not anything I, because you will see, vice versa. And then somehow, I'm going to stay in the boat at any cost, no matter what.
You know, there's a song by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. I was giving class this morning, we were reading this song. And he's saying, there's no one more merciful than you, and I want your mercy. And then he said, and this time I promise I won't run away. I thought, that's so beautiful. Give me your mercy and I'll stay this time. So it's the same thing you're saying. I like that. I'm going to stop running away. How can I run away? Why should I? That's not. Help me not run away. Anyone else? Something must have happened. We need someone else to share. Yes?
So I was asking, like, I did my 16 hours in the morning, so this is like I'm doing it more. So I was asking, like, give me, more bhakti, so I can do more and more and more.
That's nice.
Is that okay?
It's more than
This is
okay.
asking something, right?
Prayer is asking. Asking is not the problem. Asking for sense gratification is the problem. But asking for service that's what the Maha Mantra means. Asking for purity is what it means. Because you can ask Krishna for anything, for his service. But if it's not connected to his service, then a devotee wouldn't ask for it. So it has to be somehow or other connected. So, because whatever we're asking help for is just so we can be better devotees and serve better. So, it's like you come to me and say, "Can I wash your car?" And I say, "Okay." And then you say, "Do you have a towel?" You're asking me for a towel, but what's a towel for? It's not for you to take home and make yourself beautiful. It's to wash the car. So I say, "Of course. I'm not going to give you a towel. Get your own towel." No, it's for the car. I'm going to wash your car. Oh, okay. Take the towel. There's something else also which is important to recognize. When you hear this verse and you talk about pure devotional service, you might feel, well, I'm very far from that, and how do I relate to it? But the purity that's being talked about here is the purity of intention, the purity of motivation. And that's something you can control. Why am I doing this? What am I trying to get? What's my motive? So I might not be pure, but I do have control of my motives. I do have control of what's going to motivate me to serve Krishna. So if I say, Krishna, even though I'm not a pure devotee, but when I serve you, I want to serve you to please you. That's my motive. And then that comes under the category of pure devotional service in a broad sense. Even though I'm not a pure devotee, but I am serving to please Krishna, which is pure. Or I'm serving under the order of my guru, which is pure. So Prabhupada asked one of his disciples to chant on the beads of initiates. And the disciple said, I don't feel pure enough to do that. And Prabhupada said, my order to chant on the beads is pure. So if you follow my order, then your chanting is pure. So you're just connected with something pure. So the Guru says, do this, the order is pure. You try to do it with an intention to please Guru and Krishna. So your intention is pure, and that comes under the category of pure devotional service. Even though you may not feel that you're pure or you're pure devotee, but at that moment, as long as your intention is to satisfy Guru and Krishna, it's considered pure. So that means we can all do that, because we can all control our intentions. Now, if you're doing the service to be recognized, to get some position of control, that's different. But if you have the desire to be recognized, or the desire to have a position of control, due to your conditioning, that's one thing, but just don't bring that desire into the service. Don't make that the reason you're doing the service. You know, I like people to adore me, because I'm a conditioned soul. So when you invited me to come here, I didn't think, oh, I'll come here, they'll adore me, that'll be good. Right? So even though I may like it if you all adore me, oh, thank you. No, you don't have to say anything. But I really like it, but it's not why I came here. So even though I have the desire for that, my motive in coming is to serve, to help. So we can control, even though we have the desire, we can control it. So I'm not going to sit here in front of you. And just my whole effort is to make you think I'm smart, make you laugh, and then we'll all come up and line up and say, you are the best thing that ever happened. And I'll go, great, I'm coming back to Columbus every month, so you can tell me how great I am.
Isn't it that even though we don't want it, there's a subtle desire inside, and Krishna gives it, so we experience it through that, then we experience the pain, and then he removes that. So that we never ask Krishna.
Could be. Or it could be that you actually want it. Like you're so insistent that it's like, okay. So, I mean, it could be, as you say, that he sees where you're at and he just frustrates you. But I always tend to think it's because it's what we want, and he's just sort of saying, okay. But at the same time, as we know, if it's going to be bad for us, he won't give it, unless we really want to. I mean, if you want to fall into Maya, he'll let you fall. But if you're sincere, he won't give it, which is good. If Krishna can make it impossible for us to leave him, that would be good. And every time we try, some disaster happens, that would be good. And if you're bold enough, you can pray for that. Say, Krishna, if I ever am stupid enough to leave you, send lightning bolts. Send a sign that I'm doing something stupid. But it takes, some level of, high level of bhakti, at least some level to pray like that. Yes.
I know that always works.
When you pray like that?
If somebody prays like that, it happens, no matter what.
Well, I know. One year in Vrindavan, two devotees both expressed the desire to go back to Godhead, and they both got in accidents at different times and left their bodies like that. It's like, whoa. Yes.
Well, if all I ask for is, and it's not money or fame or fortunes or any of the things you mentioned. If I ask for just pain relief, just relief from suffering, and it never comes, where am I falling short?
Okay.
I know I have to try harder and strive harder. You said that in
Yeah.
the beginning. But that suffering eventually wears down the spirit. I know I'm not this body. I understand that. But that suffering constantly wears down that spirit soul, and it makes it that much harder than to ask for it or to try to do it.
Yeah. Well, if we ask for something and Krishna doesn't give it, there may be a reason, and we may not understand it. And all we can do is accept that reality, that this is how it's going to be. It could be a karmic thing that has nothing to do with him. It's just, this is, it's like, I've had a pain in my hips since I was 32 years old. And I'm starting to think now, at this age, 74, I'm probably maybe going to have it, I'm maybe going to die with it. And it's just like, it's not a big problem, it swells up a little if I exercise or something. But it's like, it's a material body and it's just whatever, So it's just how it is. We shouldn't always think it has something to do with Krishna, like Krishna doesn't like me or whatever. It's like, this is the kind of body I have, karmically, and this is what it does. And what you say, it's true, it makes it difficult. But if that's what's happening, we have to figure out as best we can how to deal with it. And if Krishna wants to relieve it, if he will. If he doesn't, he doesn't. We can't control that. I've had experiences with illnesses that at some point it was just like I would meet the right doctor and he would cure it. After he's like the 86th doctor. And that happened so many times that I just started thinking, well, I guess there's a time for it to be healed and it'll happen. And if it's not meant to be healed, it won't. It's happened so many times to me. So,
it's tough. I mean, it drains.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But in here, so something drove that car drains in here.
Yeah.
So maybe God is working. Maybe it is.
Yeah. Maybe.
I don't know what to look for in church. I don't have expectations. I guess I'm not I'm not supposed to expect. I ask, I don't expect something in return.
Well, like Prabhupada said, you can ask, but then just end your prayer with, if this is what you want, Krishna. Like, I have this pain. It's an impediment to my bhakti. If you so desire, please cure me. And then you're,
will be done.
yeah. Then it's just like, okay, whatever. Then it's acceptance of the reality. I mean, we obviously have to accept the reality. And then maybe there's a state of consciousness I need to change. Maybe that will help. Maybe faith needs to be stronger. Maybe acceptance needs to be stronger. There's so many things to contemplate. It's difficult for me to speak about it because I'm not in your body. So it's like easy for me to say anything. But, one of my thoughts is, when I think about this, and it's not a pleasant thought, and I kind of stray away from this thought because it's difficult, but Srila Prabhupada's a pure devotee, and he had many difficulties with his physical body, and you would think, why would Krishna do that to his pure devotee? It's a physical body. It has problems. Chaitanya Maharaj has so many physical ailments. Why would Krishna do that? There's like so much service he could do. He's taking on karma. It's a physical body. We all have some karma from the past. And here we are. And, Krishna may think, well, this devotee needs to become detached and really needs to want to. And I know he does, and I know he's having a hard time. And I'm making it so easy for him to leave his body because he's so miserable in his body, and just to leave, he'll want to get out of this world. And that could be a reason, another reason. Krishna just says, no, you're going to stay this way because it's going to help you. And if I cure you, you just go off and forget me and go ski down mountains and ride motorcycles. And it's possible. We've seen that. So Krishna might say, I think you're in a better position now. Even though it feels like it's difficult, there's a certain detachment there that I just don't want to be part of this world. It's painful. It's possible. I see in my life, I kind of analyze my karma, and I see that there's certain things that never happen for me. Like, it doesn't matter. And it always kind of looks like it's going to happen, but it doesn't. And every time it happens, I think, it's just not my karma for this. It's like so close, so many times. And then something else happens, and it's just not, I can see it so clearly. It's not going to happen now. And something really good's going to happen, and it's like this and that happens, and it just doesn't happen. I just watch it not happen. And I think, I don't have the karma for that to happen. It's kind of obvious. Otherwise, I was like so close. It was like 1 inch away. And it's like, and the car turned the other way. Do you ever see that in your life? Those things. It's like, so I just think, well, I guess that's just how it is. I have all these little weird things going on in my body, or outside of it, inside of it, and around it. And occasionally I think, oh, so this is what the end of my life's going to be like, this thing and that thing and this thing and that thing. And then I think, well,
That's where it brings the spirit down. If I could separate the spirit out from the body.
Yeah. All we can do is tolerate and try to figure out how within this condition we can go forward. It's like we look at Prabhupada, it's amazing. Like it's almost like he was oblivious to his body. It's like crazy. Like just pushed it. Forget the body, we're just going.
Actually, Jiva Goswami explains phenomena in Tata Sundarbha. 3 kinds of suffering. The one is normal karmis, they suffer because of the karma. And the second is devotees who are aspiring at sadhakas, they also suffer. does Krishna intervene, the suffering is for purification.
Yes.
And the third is pure devotees also suffer because that's for glorification.
Yeah.
To show the world that how great they are in spite of all those things.
Yeah. And if the pure devotees didn't suffer, then we wouldn't have examples of how to tolerate suffering.
There is not one devotee in history, pure devotee, never had a suffering background. Not one.
One devotee was having trouble in her family. And just before she wrote me, somebody had written something about all the suffering Prabhupada had to go through, like material suffering, physical and otherwise. And I knew it, but I never saw it in the list. When I saw the list, it was like crazy. This was like so many difficulties he went through. And this devotee was having a pretty hard time, and I sent her the list, and she said, "Oh, my life's easy compared to what Prabhupada had to do." So, yeah, it's true. But that inspires us. Yes, you had one.
I was just going to say, when Hare Krishna was saying about the holiness of the Maharaj, he said that, the ailments that he had were, not for his purification, but for the purpose of glorification.
Yeah, exactly.
And secondly, I wanted to say that, it came a little late, but, having in Japa, in an environment like this with other devotees, much more uplifting than doing it at home by yourself.
Yeah.
And thirdly, I wanted to say that I heard a lecture today, and in that lecture it was saying that Jesus forgave 7 times. I don't know why it kept reeling in my head. So maybe since you've had seminars on forgiveness, but it just kept reeling that particular thing going in.
That's mercy. Keep forgiving. Prabhupada said Nityananda's forgiveness was unlimited, beyond 7 times 7. And we should be like that as representatives. Okay, you want to do one more? This next one's my favorite. Should I sing the song?
Yes.
So we did verse 5 actually at the Sunday feast. And verse 5 is very much like verse 3 in helplessness. I'm in the ocean and pick me up. I'm helpless. So this is verse 6. And I have to explain verse 6 because you might think it will not relate to you. And Lord Chaitanya is praying for the symptoms of ecstatic love. When will there be tears in my eyes, my voice choke, hair stand on end when I chant your name? And of course that doesn't relate to us. It would be a little artificial to pray exactly that way. But we're going to think about what we want to get from the holy name, that it's not giving us, that we really want. Like maybe not tears like streams, but maybe a drop once in a while. Maybe sometimes, a glimpse into something deeper with the holy name, a taste, an experience, something like that. So that's where we're going to go. But I want to sing the song first. This is the 6th verse. Nayanam Garuda Shudaraya Badanam Gadvira. When will my eyes be decorated with tears? And when will my voice choke and my hair stand on end? After sensation of your after sensation of eyes be decorated in tears of love. And when will my voice strong and my hands stand on it at the recitation of your holy name, at the recitation of your holy name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare So, the holy name is Chintamani, and the holy name can give you whatever you want. So imagine the holy name came to you and said, "What do you want from me?" And during this Japa session, you're going to ask, you're going to beg, you're going to say, "What I want from you, I want to realize that you're in your name, or I want my heart to melt, or I want you to just like show me something like deeper about the holy name." And just like, just say, "Come on, Krishna," like I'm chanting, every day, "Come on, what am I going to get at? This is what I want." And just beg it. So that this is Loliam hankering is taught by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. When, oh when will that day be mine? So we want to hanker for something which is reasonable for us, not beyond our skill set. But maybe just a little bit beyond it. Like, I haven't achieved this yet, so when is it one hair on my body, not all of them? When is one hair going to stand on it? When is, one day, one syllable going to falter? One day, something beyond what I'm experiencing now. So we're just going to chant and pray. And who knows? See if you can convince Krishna to shower some mercy on you. And this is like a beautiful way to chant if you really get into it. You can be very emotional because you're just completely helpless, begging Krishna to give you some special mercy. Okay, so we'll chant one round and then we'll round it all up.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare. Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare 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 Ram. We're getting close to having to leave this room, so unfortunately we're going to have to stop. Thank you all for coming, and just want to mention that the changes that we're trying to implement in our Japa can be best made in the next few weeks. And the more you practice, the more you install a new habit, and it's going to be the easiest in the next few weeks. And so just try to embody, Shashtakam in your japa, and if you practice, it becomes quite natural and easy. And I'm going back tomorrow with a lot of stuff to put in my suitcase, so if you buy everything on the table, then it'll make it easier for me to go back. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Go Premanandi.
We have few announcements.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you all for coming to this wonderful 3-day retreat, and also who are attended the Sunday feast as well. I would like to give we have devotees coming from New Vrindavan. Greg Prabhu, I would like to introduce.
He used to be, but he lives in Columbus. I have the floor. Oh, okay. My name is Greg Crow. I'm Ganapati. But I'm from Moundsville, West Virginia, about 6 miles from New Vrindavan, and spent around 1969 to about 88 before we moved over to Columbus, Ohio. But I spent a big bulk of my younger formative years in New Vrindavan. Still have a few friends, a few old timers left. A lot of people have passed. But haven't been back for about 4 years, 3 or 4 years. But hope to. Been dealing with a lot of health issues. That's what I miss. Okay. You want to sing "We Are Forever" together?
We are.
You play it, we'll sing it. No, that's all I have. Unless you want to sing.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Mataji, for coming. So Mahatma Prabhu, thank you so much for visiting us after 2 years, and very inspiring Japa retreat for all of us. And I wish all the community members would have taken advantage of this retreat. And Mahatma Prabhu has a website, mahatmadas.com, and on his website you can find all the spiritual newsletters, audios, poems, excerpts, articles, and much more. And all Prabhu's offerings are always aiming to help devotees help themselves in spiritual journey. And Prabhu also has online courses that are available on the Sattva Life Mighty Networks platform, which provide valuable insights and guidance. So please look into the websites. And there are also some books Prabhu has written. So if you need any autograph please feel free to do so. So with that, let's continue to appreciate Mahatma Prabhu's visit. Can we all sing Hare Krishna 3 times?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
We'd like to give insignificant or most valuable gift for Mahatma Prabhu. So it's Srila Prabhupada's 125th anniversary coin made from Indian government. So I'd like to request Ramtirth Prabhu, Navin Krishna Prabhu and Premsingh Prabhu to offer the gift.
And also, this is the Lakshmi collector for the event, and we want to give a thank you for Mataji's family, Ravi Prabhu, and then Diti Mataji. Let's give a bigger applause to them. Single handedly, she managed, communicated, executed. Without you, we could not have this association. Thank you very much for your family. This is a slogan of appreciation for Columbus Temple.
Haribo.